This is the Curtis DCD-1200 digital camera. Oh yeah, this is from the year 2000, at least according to the date listed in the PDF for it. It's blue. It's blue. And it has an optical viewfinder. And it has no LCD screen. And it has a shutter button on it. And it has a plastic lens. A plastic lens with maybe a little bit of dirt in it. I don't know. This has been sitting around for many years. And YouTuber Dynatrack recently made a video on his Sony Mavica floppy disk camera, as I had posted recently as of the making of this video, January 2021. I had remembered this camera. I almost forgot about it, actually, but I remembered based on something that he commented that I had this, and this chain did not come with it. I put this on there because this way you can carry it around, and it'll doesn't really fit over my head too good, but it kind of does. How I'm gonna get it off of my head, I don't know. That's gonna be a little bit of a problem. That's tight. That's great. Problem is my damn hair is in the way. There we go. Okay. So it's a camera. It has, let's go over the features of it. This is high quality stuff for 2000, let me tell you. So you have your optical viewfinder, which I'll clean a little dust out of it. You have your optical viewfinder. You have a green LED, a green clean light. That is the beeper hole. Yes, not a microphone, people, a beeper hole, so you can hear the beeper in it. Around back, we have the optical viewfinder that you look through, a small black and white LCD display here that will display what mode the camera's in and how many shots you have remaining. You have a mode button to change between the modes and a power switch right over here. You slide it on and you slide it off. Runs on 3 AAA batteries. You should be able to see them in there. I had a lot of trouble getting it to actually turn on after all of these years. Not sure why, but eventually, after loading and unloading the batteries a few thousand times, it worked. Okay. I bought this many years ago at Tiny Middle. It came in a plastic blister pack kind of thing. And I knew it was a piece of crap. I might have paid 20 bucks for it, 25 on the outside, something like that. I bought this knowing what it was. Obviously, this is a camera you'd give to a kid. Now, again, this was 2000, so I might have bought this very early on there. So maybe about 2003, let's say, 2002, maybe. One of the first purchases I made there. Well, anyway, this camera is... You had your choices of digital cameras and even video cameras back then. You had your choice of these or a real camera. This thing is a piece of junk. Now, I want to further bolster that, and then I'm going to show you around it. Then, of course, we're going to test it out. So you turn it on. Oh, great. It doesn't work now. Oh, almost. There. Maybe the switch is a little wonk, but whatever it is. It shows 20 in the display. Now, when I first turn it on, and I want to be careful about that because maybe that's what the trouble is. It says HR for high res. You also have LR for low res, and there's also continuous shot mode in that. Basically what you do, and I'm not going to save these pictures, we'll take some real ones later. Okay, it went to sleep. That was that sound if you heard it. Press the button, it wakes up. Now, it's okay if it goes to sleep. Let's take a picture. It just beeps. So there's 5 shots. The display now shows 15. And the camera is all fine and good, hunky-dory right now. Now you say, oh, maybe I'll take some shots later. You go to shut it off. Those pictures are gone. That's correct. If you turn that switch off, the pictures you took are gone. There's no memory card. This camera has 2 megabytes of built-in memory. That's right, folks. 2 megabytes. It has a USB connection and a strange barrel jack connection there, which we'll get to later. So let's talk about, I'm going to chat for a little bit here, about the specs of this camera. This camera takes pictures, well, first of all, like I said, it has 2 megabytes of memory in it. And again, the pictures are lost as soon as you shut that switch off. The pictures are in CIF resolution. To refresh those of your memory who might remember CIF, it stands for Common Interchange Format. I think they're JPEGs it takes. We're going to find that out later, but I think it was JPEGs that this camera takes. But it's CIF resolution. That was an old standard or name that they used to use, and the actual resolution in pixels expressed is 352 by 288 pixels. That's right. 352 by 288. None of this 640 by 480, none of this 800 by 600, none of this 1024 by 768, and fuck off with your 1920 by 1080. This is high quality at 352 by 288. But that may be too high of a resolution to be taking pictures. So it also offers QCIF resolution, which stands for quarter common interchange format. And quarter, 1/4 of 352 by 288 is 176 by 144. Oh yeah. 176 by 144 pixels. Both of these resolutions will, well, except for 352 by 288, that's actually a little bit high even for CGA resolutions, because that went up to, well, it could do it in the high res at 600 by 200 resolution, black and white, but it does take color images. If you wanted it to actually fit pixel for pixel, you could do the quarter CIF at 176 by 144 resolution, which most certainly would fit into 320 by 240 resolution, or 320 by 200. I'm getting numbers mixed up. It's late in the day and I've made plenty of other videos and exercised, and yeah, I actually went for a walk today. It was too nice out. The software that this requires is at least Windows 95. We'll get back to that. And a Pentium 133 or higher, 16 megabytes of RAM, and 16-bit color. I did say it has a USB port, and I showed you that, but I also mentioned that other port there. This, folks, can hook up to the computer via a 9-pin serial cable, and they included both the USB cable and the 9-pin serial cable with this camera. Now, we're gonna do both. I'll show you both. But as far as the 9-pin serial goes, you'd say, well, why would you want to hook that up if you have USB? Well, Windows 95, unless it was the third version of it, OSR 3, I think it was, something like that, that had limited USB support. Windows 98 did, and on from there. I'm going to be using this with a Windows XP laptop that is somewhat period correct. It's the specs, like I said, Pentium 133 or higher. I don't even remember when the early Pentiums were out, maybe back in the 95 days, but I'm going to be using my Dell Inspiron 5000 laptop, which has a serial port and a USB port, and it's even USB 1.1. The manual claims that the USB transfer is 20 times faster than the serial connection. And I betcha, I just betcha, that's USB 1.1 because we didn't have USB 2 yet. It just didn't exist. So this is really high end. Now, I had a lot of trouble getting the camera just to even work, so hopefully we can actually make this happen. So I think the first thing that we ought to do is get the laptop, we'll set that up, we'll install the software it came with, and then we will take some pictures with it and try transferring them just over USB to try it out. And then we'll play the serial game. Or should we do it the other way around? Not sure yet. We'll have to see. Let's see if we can get the damn software installed first. This is why it's important to keep old laptops around. Here is the 9-pin serial port in question. Here is a USB 1.1 port. That's right. That's all it came with, and that's all we need. But there's something else interesting about the serial port over here and digital cameras. There's one other one that I think I had a video on. I'm not positive. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't remember. Somebody gave me an old Kodak 1 megapixel camera that did hook up via serial. They didn't include the cable, and the cable I have for this camera didn't work with it, but that one takes a compact flash card, so I can pull the compact flash card and get the pictures off of it that way. I think it was 1 megapixel. Unfortunately, the reason they gave it to me is because they cracked the screen on it, and you will never find a screen that will fit that thing anymore ever again. So it just is. It has an optical viewfinder, so you can use that. But back in the day, in the early digital cameras, like the Sony Mavicas, the only way to get the pictures off of the quote-unquote camera and onto the computer was via the floppy disk or a memory stick if it took it. But there was no USB connection on the camera. There wasn't even a serial connection. But serial was something that all computers had back in the day, and there were some that are from this time period that actually had front serial ports. Here is my digital picture frame machine. I just woke it up, so that's why it's on the desktop instead of showing pictures, because the mouse over there moved. This machine is 667 megahertz, came with Windows 98, I think. Now, I took all of the plastic off of this machine, the bottom plastic and the front, and on the top it had all this plastic stuff to make it look HP. But if you look here, that's a 9-pin serial port and a USB port. This is the front of the system. That's the power button, power light, and below that is the hard drive light and floppy drive, and the rest you can't see. If we move around here, this is the back. That's an Ethernet cable going into it, the mouse, and you hear the fan and everything else. So yes, front panel serial ports were a thing back then, mainly for digital cameras, early digital cameras, because that was touted as a feature that this PC was digital camera ready. Yes, the pink screen. But that will clear up in time. There's our nice floppy drive that saved the day for the Sony Mavica camera, because without that, there was no way to get the pictures. Just no way to do it. You could use USB floppies and stuff like that, but, you know. Anyway, I'll let this boot up. I'll get the software transferred in, and we'll start playing around. Well, I think this one is going to deserve a drink, so we're going to make gin and tonic today. Almost on the laptop itself. Oh, look at that. I got plenty more gin. Well, that was just enough for a drink. And I don't think I'm really going to have more than one today. Pure tonic water. I think I got it at Aldi. Not sure. But, whoop! That's one of those where it was going to explode all over the computer. But I got my reflexes in time. Although there is liquids on the computer, which is strange. I don't know why that is. I don't know what that's from. Pouring the gin? My hands were wet before, so I think that's actually what it was, because I washed my hands while I was upstairs and they weren't completely dry. What I did in the meantime is I had the installer on a flash drive on the network, which is a nice slow USB 1.1 flash drive that now transferred to this machine via wireless B, and now I'm deleting all of that stuff off of the really slow flash drive, and write speeds are incredibly slow on it. So that's deleting that. In the meantime, this is the folder that we need to install, and I haven't even sipped my drink yet. But let me go ahead and move the camera back up and zoom in on it. Okay, it has been many years since I even used this camera. So we're going to have to look through. There is a setup file. First and foremost, the manual in PDF came with it. Now, whenever I would buy anything, I'd always make an archive folder on an external hard drive that contained the contents of the CD. This is when stuff used to come with CDs. And here it is. So I have the manual for it. There we go. In PDF, and yes, it still opens up just plain perfectly on a Pentium 3. Maybe a little slow loading the sidebar and scrolling, but you can get the idea. And in fact, let's just go down for a minute to some of the more interesting stuff. Like here is, I'll see if I could turn the screen a little. Maybe that's a little more readable for you, less readable for me. Basically, it shows all the different stuff that I went over before. And if I scroll back up for a minute, multimedia PC, Pentium 133 or better, Windows 95, 98, 98 SE or NT for serial port, 98, 98 SE for USB port, 16 mega RAM, 200 megabytes hard disk space recommended, CD-ROM drive, color monitor with 16-bit or above, USB port or serial COM port for connection, color inkjet or laser printer to output photos optional. That's really it. If I do scroll back to the first page, Timlex International Limited 2000. So we'll close that, and we're going to run setup. I don't know what's going to happen or if it's going to work. I have run this successfully on Windows XP before. Language is English. It's loading. CoolCam camera suite. Next. Yes. Next. Okay. I'm going to just let it install everything here. The AVI Creator is what lets you make movies. Ooh. I don't remember which program did which, or did what. I guess we don't need Photo Printer 2000, but I'm not sure which of these two allowed you to transfer photos. So we'll hit next. CoolCam Camera Suite, and it's installing something. Okay, that was good. Install camera drivers. Finish. CoolCam driver installation. English. The program will install version 1.02 of the drivers for the CoolCam. The USB driver for Windows 2000 can only be installed via plug and play, selecting directory containing the driver files when Windows detects the camera. To exit installation, click on Cancel. To only install the RS-232 driver, click OK. The USB driver will not run under Windows 95 or NT, so only the RS-232 device driver will be installed. OK. The installation has been completed successfully. OK. What is going to happen next? Aha! The desktop. So that was quick. And if we go into the Start menu, CoolCam Camera Suite. Let's try Photo Fantasy 2000. Oh my God. Yeah, that's not, that sucks. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. Let us try Photo Studio 2.0 SE. Ah, version 2.0 for Windows. It says ready at the bottom. File. Acquire. Now it says acquire select source scanner calibration. Does this do Twain over serial? Is that what we actually are seeing here? Twain over serial? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So we're going to try this via serial and see. I'm going to turn the camera on. Oh, good. There's our 20 pictures. And I'll take a few snapshots. Here's my drink. In fact, I'll use the optical viewfinder. I'll take a picture of the screen. Here's the camera looking at the screen. And a few pictures of the detergent. Okay, so I took 7 pictures, and now we show 13. I now have and we'll get to the USB later, but I now have the barrel jack to 9-pin serial connection, and I hope this is going to work. Okay, that sound was the camera going to sleep, but not to worry because we didn't shut it off. So as long as we don't shut it off, we can have our pictures still on there. Let me get the power cord out of the way and see if I could plug this thing in. Yes, I got it. Okay. Good. Move my drink out of the way. Plug. It turned back on. And there's the green light, by the way. That's always been on whenever the camera's on. Okay, acquire, select source. CoolCam, yes, select. File. acquire. Yes! It works! It works! Okay. So we can capture all. And there it goes, folks. Over a serial connection. 70,000, 80,000, 90,000. So that's about 100 kilobytes per picture. And you see the progress bar going across. There's 7 pictures. So that was the second one it just transferred. Over a fucking serial connection. There's the third picture. This is sweet. This is sweet. Number 4. Number 5. That makes number 6. And number 7. Now, if you remember a little earlier back, it read these thumbnails really quick. So I'm not sure how it does that or what the camera does. Okay. What if we click Get Pictures anyway? Oh, Get Pictures refreshes what's on the camera. Okay. So now we have our pictures. Far as I know, these are the real resolution. I guess we're going to try to save these. So File, Save As. I'll save it to the desktop. And it wants to save as a BMP, bitmap. But it will let me save it as a JPEG. Quality 90, it says. So this was, whoopsies, picture 7. Like it goes in reverse order for some reason. So we'll save that. Close that picture. And now I will go through and save all of these. And I will put them in the... That's interesting. The camera shut off but turned back on because I guess it realized it was still connected to the computer. So there's 6. And let me go and save all the rest. Okay, here are the first 7 pictures that I had taken with this camera at the resolution of 352 by 288 pixels. And yes, this truly was as good as it gets, folks. Out of one of these cameras like this is what you could expect. Like I said, it's more of a kid's camera than it is than a real camera. It's a joke all around. But it does indeed take pictures, as we see here. They're not horrible, just very low resolution. Also worth noting is that these were indeed bitmap files at about 100 kilobytes apiece, and 20, well, there you go for 2 megabytes. That makes a lot of sense. They are true bitmap images, but it did give me the option to save them as JPEGs. Okay, so with that done, we'll disconnect that. I'm going to shut the camera off. Please turn back on. Yeah, it works. And let's see where we are here, so maybe you could see. CT is continuous. ST was self-timer. CL is clear. So it cleared by pressing the shutter button twice. LR. Low resolution. QCIF. 80 pictures. Okay. So here's my drink in the sink. The end of the serial cable. The computer. The camera. And the detergent will take bunch of pictures there. So that was 11 pictures. Now we'll hook it back up. And we're going to go back to File, Acquire. There we go. Capture all. Look how much faster that goes. These are 24 kilobytes each picture. Considerably faster. But wait till you see the resolution, folks. This is quality shit we got here. This is quality shit. Okay, so we got all of that. Now, I'm going to stop camera for a minute. I'm going to save all of these. And then we're going to try out the continuous shooting mode. The continuous shooting mode allows this to record as long as you hold the shutter button down. Now, what it does is it records a series of images that in high resolution, I guess we could say, CIF, will record 2 whole seconds of video. And then you can set it to low res, and you can get 8 whole seconds of video because it has 20 or 80 pictures, so it's 10 frames per second. 20 divided by 10 is 2, so you get 2 seconds of video. 80 divided by 10 is 8, so you get 8 seconds of video. So we're going to try that out. But like I said, I'm going to go and save all of these pictures first, which seems to be a tedious process. I don't remember if there was an easier way, but whatever it is, I'll just go through what I have because I'm just happy it's working. QCIF resolution 176 by 144 pixels. You can see the jaggies. Oh yeah, this is quality stuff right here. But hey, it transferred over a serial connection. And remember how I said it was about 24,000 bytes, 24K for these QCIF? Well, if the big pictures were 100K and these are 25K, that truly is 1/4 the resolution, 1/4 the size in bytes, and also in pixels. Definitely bitmap images. Okay, you can see all the pictures hanging out there on the desktop. So now we're going to try the video mode. So let's see here. CT continuous. Okay, and it actually took 2 shots. So let me see if I could clear it. Set it to continuous. And I think it sits there. Yeah. And now I'm going to record 2 seconds from the computer panning over to the camera. No, it didn't work. Okay, we'll clear it again. CT. Takes a little bit of a learning curve. Okay, there we go. I got it. All the beepity 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 beeps were the were the pictures being snapped by it. Now there's this AVI creator, but I don't know how this works anymore. AVI creator. Create, and it asks to open them. jeez. Can't find the specified file. No device. About AVI Creator. Quit. Okay. Just a minute. Let me see. I'm just curious. Here's PaintShop Pro 6. Jask PaintShop Pro 6. I want to load that up. I'm just curious. If this will acquire the pictures also. File. Import. Well, it says digital camera. But we're going to go Twain. Select source. It is. It's fucking Serial over Twain. That is hot shit right there. That is hot shit. Serial over Twain. Import. Twain. Acquire. Yeah, it's pulling it. There we go. Now, obviously, these pictures look all the same. They do change toward the end, but that's because each of these are different frames of the video. So we're going to capture all. Now, I'm going to speed this up, but I'll put on screen how long it actually took to transfer the entire contents of this camera via Serial. Oh, Dick. The camera has been removed? What do you mean the camera has been removed? I didn't tell you to remove the camera. What are you talking about? It's still there and plugged in. Get pictures again? Yeah. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work. I'm just going to close to reset the counter in PaintShop Pro 6 and reopen it, and we'll try it one more time. Processing delay in PaintShop Pro, putting it on screen before it captures the next picture? I don't know. Okay, it's reading the thumbnails again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Capture all. Okay. Okay, there's all of our pictures. I don't know how long that took. I've put it on the screen at this point. But that was a long time. That took a long time over Serial to transfer all of those pictures in. My goodness. Okay. I have to now save all of these 20 pictures and find a damn good way to do it. That sucks. So let me go and do that. And then we'll figure out what is going to be next. Alright, the footage that I took before I have just saved as pictures. So I'll throw them in the video at the end when we go over all of the footage that this camera has recorded. But in the meantime, I figured out how this AVI Creator thing works. They made this Mickey Mouse Apple stupid. Basically, that means click the button and Steve Jobs will do that in exchange for $100. Yeah, what you do is you take the camera and you set it to the continuous mode, which I'll do. You shoot your video, you hook it up to the computer, and you hit create. And then the Steve Jobs magic automatically happens. So, we're going to do this at, hopefully, the high res first. Continuous shooting. Okay, I did it. We have 2 whole seconds of video. Now, the way this works, frame rate 10. So now what it's going to do is it's going to take 10 frames per second and save that to an AVI. So I'm going to run through this at 5, 10, and 20. So this way you'll get half normal speed and double speed. So the way this works is we leave it at that, and all you do is connect the camera. It's been hooked up the whole time. Hit create. And it asks for a name for the file. It's going to save as an AVI. So we'll call it movie 1. And there it goes. It created the file on the desktop there. This will populate. There we go. It says click cancel to cancel creating the AVI file. And now we have a progress bar. And that's going to go across. And when it's done, we'll have our 2 seconds of video, folks. This is just awesome. You can't get better than a serial fucking connection of a digital camera. This is high end. A fucking floppy is faster. You know that, right? A floppy disk is considerably faster. That can do, about 10 kilobytes per second, easy, on a good day. A good 10 kilobytes per second. So in 8 seconds you'll have, no, actually it's going to have to be faster than that. I can't remember now. How fast does a floppy go? It can seek a track about once every second. So if there's 40 seconds, yeah, maybe it is, because a 360K disc, it would read at, and I'm talking all the low density stuff, a 360K disc, if it has 40 tracks and about a track a second, is 40 seconds to read 360 kilobytes, which is about 3 pictures worth. So is serial faster? I don't know. I also have no idea what connection speed this is going at over the serial. It's just, it's all behind the scenes stuff. So I don't see any of that, and I have no idea. But in a few thousand more moments, this video is going to be created. That's right. It's going to be all created. And then we get to watch our 2 seconds of video. In fact, it's even going to Steve Jobs it right up on the screen for us. We don't have to do anything. It's saving the file. It's already saved. That's it. It's doing its thing at this point, but it's going to open it up on screen and let us play it right from within this little fakakta program. This was high-end shit for 2000. This, and then you print it out on your HP DeskJet, inkjet DeskJet printer at fucking 300 DPI, and yeah, it was good shit. All that for that. Let's play it again. Ooh. Okay. So now we'll close that. We're going to set the frame rate to 20. And we're going to create another one. And I'll call it Movie 2. I don't know how I'll put these in the video. And we'll hit open. And the camera is now transferring all 2 megabytes yet again to the computer. This original file turned out to be, whoopsies, let's try that again. There we go. I hit the left button instead of the right. 5.8 megabytes? Almost 6? Ooh, that's a lot more than 2. I don't know, can we afford that disk space? You know, these movie files, they add up real quick. You don't want to have too many of those little porno videos back in 1998 on your dial-up connection on your HP 667 megahertz computer. Yeah, none of us did that, right? Yeah, I've been there too. 2 seconds of video of a nice pearl necklace, and that's all you got after a 15-minute download. I wish I knew what speed this was actually transferring at. And I know it doesn't make a difference if you change the speed. I'll see while it's busy doing that, because remember, you can multitask on a Pentium 3. There's plenty you can do here. So we'll go to hardware, we'll go to device mangler. This is all while it's rendering a video in the background. This is high-end shit, and look how much it slows down. None at all. COM2 properties. It says it's working properly. It's set to 9600. Yeah. I don't know that actually is what this is transferring at. So we're going to let this one finish, and when it does, we'll play that, and then again, like I said, I'll receive it one more time at 5, and then we get to do this again with the 8 seconds of video, and I'll just put that in as it is, and then we'll try USB to see if it actually is like 20 times faster. I'm not going to time it all, but just to give you the idea. Okay, we're coming into the home stretch here. 2 more little blue blobs of shit in the progress bar to go. Ooh, I touched the cable. Oh, good, it did it. Okay. Wow, folks. That was exciting. Now we got our 1 second of video. Okay, now we'll set this to half speed. There he goes. And we can create movie 3. And I won't bore you with that. Okay, we're coming into the home stretch of the 5 frames per second. So we should end up with a 4-second video. There it is. Let's see what that looks like now. Wow, it's fucking slow motion. Did you see that? That's slow motion. Here was normal speed. It's going to come up with VLC player eventually, hopefully, before the camera battery dies. Yep, there it was. Okay, great. Okay, here it is. The original video that I recorded. Here it is one more time. And now twice as fast. I'll play it twice. And here's half speed for that slow motion effect. So here's the video again, normal, double, then half speed. About 3.5 minutes of transferring for 2 whole seconds of CIF resolution video. This is high-end stuff. Now we're going to try the low-res mode on the camera to give us 8 seconds. Well, the camera battery died before I had a chance. So that must mean I'm doing something right. We're going to clear. Now we're going to set it. Let me see if I could show you. Low res. I have to hit the shutter. Now continuous. And here we go. Panning around and back. Okay, now we get to create movie 4. We'll set the frame rate back to 10. And we're going to create movie 4 as an AVI. That is now transferring. It worked. It recorded at low res. Oh, I can't wait to see what this looks like on the tubes. Alright, I'll come back when this is created. Okay, here's our video. It's coming. We'll have it. It's almost downloaded, everyone. Here we go. Oh, I can't wait to see this pearl necklace, man. This is going to be great. Oh, it's over already. I think some of us have been there too. Okay. It's postage stamp big, folks. Yep, that's what you get. Okay, 8 seconds of video. Not too fucking shabby, eh? Not too fucking shabby. QCIF resolution. Here we go. 8 full seconds of full motion 10 frame per second video. And just for fun, through the magic of video editing, here it is 3 times faster for a supposed 30 frames per second. Okay, so we have that done. We're going to quit. And these were, I transferred some of these pictures to bitmaps just to see if that would make this AVI creator thing work, but it didn't. So I'm going to delete all of those. But we have all of that. Everything there is all set. Let's try changing the serial port speed. Now, I'm going to have to make another movie and time all this. So I'm going to do some off-camera work, and then we'll change. I have the manual open showing me what to do and all kinds of great shit there. PDF still works, still opens up. Pentium 3, not obsolete, folks. Anyways, I got some off-camera work to do. I'm going to go and figure out how long it actually takes to transfer this, because I didn't time it earlier. And then I'm going to set the serial port speed to 19200 and see if that makes any difference. About 3 minutes to transfer that. So we'll close that. We're going to quit that. We're going to go to Device Mangler. Go to our COM port, Properties, Port Settings, change nothing but the bits per second to 19200. Press OK. We'll close that. We'll close that. No, I'm not going to rerun it now because of something I discovered years ago, where although Windows doesn't tell you, sometimes after changing serial port settings, you need to fucking reboot. And that's right, Windows never told you that. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to restart. I'm going to leave the camera on with the same thing in it and transfer the same data. So as long as the batteries in it don't go dead, we can try this again. I'll retime it and see if it's any faster than about 3 minutes. Okay, we've just rebooted. and I will have access to the system in just a moment. We're going to double check and make sure our port settings changed, so there's no hanky-panky going on here. Does anybody really give a shit if there's any hanky-panky with serial connections? Like, is this really going to break the bank, make the difference for anybody? Let's hit properties, and it should still be set to 19200 after the reboot. I don't see any reason why not. Port settings, 19200. Okay, so that's all good. We'll close that. We'll close that. We're going to load up that AVI creator. Also, the port, and you're gonna have to take my word for this. The camera had reset when the machine rebooted because the serial connection was dropped. That's because it made the doo-doo-doo sound that it was going to sleep, just like it did now, and then the beep beep to say, okay, I woke up. So now we're going to create another file. We'll call it test2, and I'm not going to include these in the video because we've seen this already. And I'll hit start and save. I hit start a little quick, but 19200, if we consider 9600, if you double that, is 19200 exactly. Oh, look at that shit. I just learned something I didn't even know. Okay. Well, I'm going to let this run, and we'll come back and see what the stopwatch says when it's done. It looks like it's going at exactly the same speed. Well, I think it's obviously clear. It's at 2 minutes, and that's going to have to be rolling for a bit still. So changing the port setting had absolutely no effect on how fast it ran, which seems to indicate to me that it's accessing the port directly, possibly. Let me zoom you out a little bit. Okay, there. So is it accessing the port directly? I guess, because like what else could it possibly be doing? It's just going at its own speed no matter what. And data bits and stop bits and playing even an odd parity and shit is not going to make any difference. It's just doing what it's doing. But here we are, coming up on 3 minutes. I started the stopwatch a little early, so we might be like 301, 302. Okay, there. 304. But yeah, we created the same video, and there it is. Okay, great. So we proved that it does not make a difference how long the, or rather what speed the serial port is set at. But let's go and do this now that we have this data on the camera. Not that I need this file because I already have it. We're going to receive that data one more time, but this time we're going to do what I didn't think I was going to be able to do, because with the still images you have to save each picture individually and it's a pain in the dick. With the video, it goes and pulls all of the data off of the camera. So now you are about to witness probably about the slowest data transfer that you can get with one of these cameras. We are now going to create yet another copy of that, and I am going to send that to, let's see if it's in the list. It is. And we'll just call it test. So now what's going to happen is the camera, let me stand up and turn my timer back on so we got power to the laptop. Good thing the battery works, right? We are now going to transfer data from the camera via a serial connection that will go to a wireless B transmitter, to my network, to a shared flash drive on the network that has very slow write speeds, that is hooked up to a machine running at USB 1.1. I don't know if you can imagine the fucking latency involved here, but I'm curious, so I'm going to time the fucker, and I don't expect the world here. The camera is asleep and didn't seem to wake up. No, it's up now. Hopefully the data's still there. Yeah, it shows 0 on the display. So we're good and ready, and we're all good. We're going to save it on that drive, and now we're going to let that transfer one more time and see how long this is going to take. I don't expect that much of a difference, but probably the slowest transfer in the world that you're ever going to see as far as this is concerned, unless we were going floppy, but that wouldn't hold quite enough data unless I had a 2.88. But just to prove, there's the wireless card, and you can see the light blinking as it transfers the data over. So we're hooked up serial. It's creating the AVI file and saving it over the network, as you see there, and I'll show you the flash drive. The one on the right, every now and again, you can see the light on it blink. There he goes. Oh yeah, over a fucking serial connection. That's high-end stuff. Now obviously the network is going to be blinking around and doing its thing as it always does, because stuff is always transferring stuff over the network. You never know. The whiff could be on a computer or something. So things are happening here, and that doesn't tell us anything. But that flash drive don't lie. Okay, we're coming into the home stretch. So I have the stopwatch phone here. It's actually not done till now, but there. 4 minutes and 28 seconds. So if we called it 3 minutes before, that added another basically minute and a half. The interesting part is it's really a culmination of the latency of that flash drive and how slow it writes. That flash drive is can easily achieve a few, I don't know, maybe even a megabyte per second write speed, which is damn slow on a 1 gig flash drive. But if a 1 megabyte per second, you know, the whole fucking camera here, that was good. The whole, oh shit, there, okay. The whole camera is 2 megabytes. So that being the case, 2 seconds plus the time to transfer from this, so that would be 3 minutes and 2 seconds. But nope, we did it the right way, via serial. And that's why I still have this camera. I never bought this camera to take pictures with and actually use. I bought it strictly because it had a serial connection. Before we get to the USB, I decided to try an experiment, and instead of setting the camera to continuous mode, I left it on still mode, and I took, at the CIF resolution, 20 still pictures. And then I ran that AVI creator, and it made for a really interesting effect. So here is the video, the original 2 seconds of all different shots all over the place instead of in smooth motion, and then at half speed. Check this out. I know there have been some TV shows back in the day that have used this very same effect. So it's not like it's unheard of, but it's just interesting the AVI creator will do that. Doesn't care if it was actual video continuous mode or stills. I think at this point we have completely beaten that horse to death. So we're now going to close that, and we're going to quit that. And now what I'm going to do is disconnect the camera via the serial connection. the camera shut its power to low power. And now, here is a USB cable. It's USB A to standard B. Exactly what this camera takes. So let's see if we can make it work on USB now, and see if indeed it is 20 times faster. We'll plug in USB. Okay, now it wants a Derver. The Derver, no, install from a specific location. Change this to here. Drivers. No, it doesn't like it. We'll go back right to here and hit OK and see if it'll take it. Didn't like it. Alright, great. Okay, so let's go and we'll try install automatically. That's not going to work. Oh, dick. Alright, well, I guess we're going to have to go look for the damn Derver. It said drivers. Oh, well, that's got an actual executable. So we'll run that. I think this is what it had before, but I don't know. We'll just run it again. Install version. The USB driver for Windows 2000 can only be installed via plug-and-play. Selecting the directory containing driver files when Windows detects the camera. So that we saw this before. So where in here are the drivers? They're not there. Oh, Curtis camera drivers. Maybe that, no, that's a DLL. Okay, let me see if I can make it work. Well, this doesn't bode well. It's sitting there. It's got an hourglass. The hard drive light is blinking, and nothing is happening. Maybe it's a good thing it came with the serial cable, eh? Yeah, I wasn't expecting this was going to be this much of a pain in the dick. I understand if it were like Windows 98, then, you know, the USB driver would be important in that regard. And why it's saying 2000, it sees XP as 2000, so I can certainly see that one coming. But as far as what the fuck already, yeah, I don't know, and I don't like it. So we're just going to wait. That's all we're going to do. It cleared. I went into Task Manager just to see, because I hit Show All Devices. Now, obviously, it's not going to be in a list here, but Run DLL32 was showing about 90% processing usage, and as such, the machine was just sitting there while it parsed all the information. But it gave me the Have Disk button. The magic Have Disk button. Browse. I don't know where the damn driver is, or if this is going to work. Autorun.inf. No. This isn't going to even work. It's not. There's nothing, like, I don't know what actual file it's looking for. I'm going to have a look through these folders to see. I mean, because the one, let me just try. I'll take that out. Okay. Starpoint star. Whoops. There. There's this DLL. No! It doesn't want it. And it ain't going to run out of that. And I don't know where the hell that extracts to. Open. Let's run that again. Because it doesn't tell us. Holy shit. In the Windows folder? All right, let's back out of all of this. We'll go back, search, include this location, my computer, drive C, and I'll do the, come on, the Windows folder. Okay. I don't know. I don't know where it's putting it. I have no idea. Let me look around. I think we're actually going to hit a brick wall here, unless I had a Windows 98 machine with USB, and I don't. Poorly written software is something that I can't fix. If they wrote the software like shit, I can't fix that. That's not my problem. So this is actually something I'm not going to be able to solve. I had it search in the Windows System folder because I saw that, and the System 32 folder, and of course through all of this, and it had nothing to say about it. If I go back in here and we'll run that, well, let's see. We'll run this again. It's the same driver 1.02. I couldn't even see it that time. Run it one more time. Because I looked for the most recent files and there was nothing there. Yeah, I can't even catch it. I could look on video, but I think this is something that I can't solve because this was designed to work with Windows 98. Now, the question is, will this work on a machine running Windows 10 captured via serial? And the answer, unfortunately, I don't know, and I can't find out because I don't have a system that A, runs Windows 10, and B, has a true hardware serial port. Now, I had this hooked up to a true hardware serial port on this machine because I've tried this with USB to serial adapters and it didn't seem to work, which is strange because it was seemingly accessing the port directly. So as far as it transferring over USB, that unfortunately has come to an end as far as this video is concerned. In fact, the whole damn video has come to an end, an abrupt end, which I didn't want to end on a bad note like that. But you did witness it here first. A serial connection going over a wireless B, 11 megabit per second, to a USB 1.1 flash drive over a network, and it damn sure created that video without any problem. It was just fucking slow about it. But again, the point was really, the main point of the whole thing was the serial connection, which is exactly what I wanted to show you, because that is something you cannot get nowadays in the digital camera. You don't want it. And with the average file sizes of JPEGs now at megabytes in size, could you imagine how long it would take? 2 megabytes was taking 3 minutes to transfer. you know, do you really want a camera that has 86 photos and you got to wait probably, you know, at 4 megabytes per photo, that you got to wait 6 minutes times 86? That's 500 minutes. 600 minutes is 10 hours. Is that right? Yeah, 10 times 60 is 600. That would be 10 hours. 10 hours to transfer the fucking pictures from your iPhone, your iFail, to your Windows 98 turned XP computer. Wouldn't that be the shit? 10 hours. If you had to wait 10 hours for that, I don't think digital photography would have taken off. Still faster than sending your film away to be developed. You'll get it in only 10 hours instead of 10 days. Huge time saving, but still way too damn slow for practicality. Okay, so this has been an abnormally long video about an abnormally short camera. A total turd of a camera turned into a video this long, and I don't even know what the runtime on it is, but it's being presented in feature-length version because splitting it up is, you know, there's no point. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Curtis, what the hell was it now? It's been hours. DCD-1200 digital camera from 2000. This was, it was blue because it looked like the IMAX. I wonder if they had it in orange and green and other colors, but it looks like the Bondi blue of the iMac from back in the day, doesn't it? Yep, that was still a thing. I think the USB cable it came with had that Mac-like clear-ish braided cable, but I don't know for the USB. But the serial was just plain serial, and quite honestly, you ain't hooking this damn thing up to a Mac, so why they wanted to make it look like that, I don't know. Well, long and short of it is I'm glad it still works. Why it was wonky, I hope it was just the power switch like that and maybe just dirt and gunge in the contacts. But it worked, and I made my video, so now it's documented. Thank you ever so kindly for sticking with me through this entire video. If you did make it here to the end without skipping over parts, and you actually watch this, you win 500 internets. If you actually stopped in the middle to either take a dump, or take a leak, or get some popcorn, or potato chips, or something else to eat, then you win 1,000 internets. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe. And this was only a one-drink video. Thank you very kindly. Alright, I don't know what's next, but thank you very much for watching, and take care. We'll see you next time. Beep beep.